But I want to go back to Jalan Kayu. So when you began to work and working life began for you, family as well, were you still staying at Jalan Kayu?
Yes, yes. I was staying in Jalan Kayu until 1974. But a lot of development took place and we were moving around kampong houses, and people started moving into HDB estates, for the development. So, yeah, I was staying in Jalan Kayu until I moved out in 19. It was in end of 74 or beginning of 75. Oh, no, I would say beginning of 75.
Hmm. Right. And this is, of course, the tail end of the British pullout from Singapore.
Yes, yes. In fact, they already pulled out by then.
They pull out by then already, yeah.
Yes, yes.
Do you still remember the first time you heard the news that the British were leaving?
I heard about it. I can't remember exactly when, but I was in 390 and we heard that the British are pulling out because my chief tax, was a RAF proper service personnel. Normally, chief tax is a chief technician. He's the one in charge, and normally above him they've got a flight sergeant and one officer. They were telling that they'll be moving, and some of them will be repatriated back to UK soon. Their terms of tour will be cut short. So we heard about it. And we were wondering what's going to happen to us as well. Yeah, I was in Seletar 390. We were also told that they will move us around to other areas where they need the manpower until such time alternate employment can be sought. So yes, I heard it.
I know in Sembawang Naval Base, a lot of the Malayalis, the Indians left, because they were British citizens. Was that an option for your family?
No, because not for my family, but those who worked in RAF Seletar, so long as you work there for 4 years and more,
Mm.
you're given an option. You can go to UK, they give you a British passport. At the same time, they try and get you a job over there, you know. And normally the job is in either Ford or postal services. And they did offer that. Some of my friends took that option and left. Some family members, if you are married, the whole family are given that chance. If you are single, you alone get given the chance. So some of them did go. Um, Whether they made the right decision, I'm not so sure. In hindsight, some of our friends in later years, because of winter, the cold, they did share their, their regrets that they should not have made the decision.
Yeah, right. Some of them would have left because they didn't think Singapore would offer a good future for them.
Yeah. I mean, in the early 70s, things were, we were still living in probably a third world country, trying to come out of it. But I remember there was one visit in 390 ME. I was there, and the late Mr. Lee Kuan Yew came to the base. He went through the 390 ME electrical bed I was working in, right through and all that. At that point in time, we did not realize the vision he had, and neither did we realize the first G leader's vision then. But thank God now we're okay today.
Yeah. What was your view at the time? Did you believe in Singapore at the time? Did you know?
No, I don't think so. I was matured enough,
Mm.
you know, because I was only in my 20s, so I was still a youngster. To me, if I get another job, I'll get another job. Although I did had an offer, uh, I had an option to join Singapore Airlines because they were also looking for people with the aviation background, and also had an option with Shell. So I thought getting another job may not be a difficult thing for me, I thought. So I didn't think very seriously what's going to happen next.
Tell us how did Jalan Kayu change as a result of the British pullout?
I think those affected, I would say, economically, because they were basically very reliant on British personnel, were the shops which were more or less catering for them, catering for them. So I think they felt the pinch. And second, when just about the same time, when redevelopment started to take place, people were being resettled. The shops were the badly affected ones,
Mm.
and people from the kampongs were all resettled. Most of them in the earlier batch in Jalan Toa Payoh, very few. Those in Seletar and Jalan Kayu, but majority of them were settled in Ang Mo Kio. So when they moved out to these satellite towns, in the shops, most of the shops were affected because there were no people there to support them, and they started to demolish them. The markets and all
Mm.
moved on.
Were you one of the last families to leave?
Uh, no, because they were still there when I got married and moved out in '74.
Right.
But people were still staying there for a year or two, then they all moved out. But some families moved out much earlier than us. When I say I asked my parents,
Mm. Right. And this happened to all the villages, that were outside the British bases, isn't it? Changi village, Chongpang village.
yes, I think most. In fact, probably I think the greater development was, I would say, Seletar and Changi. I'm not sure was level base. Level base could be as well, but definitely Seletar was before Tengah, slightly
Mm.
before Tengah.
Right. And all these villages sort of, would you say they declined, and they began to diminish?
Yeah, I think it's a gradual because there's no one there to patronize.
Mm.
Since the people are not there, the shops are not patronized, except for one or two eateries, food shops like Tasty and all used to be there, restaurants and all. For most of the other commodity shops, groceries and provision and all that, they all moved out.
So if we go to Jalan Kayu today, what are the remnants? Is there anything that still reminds you of those days?
I would say the double-story building. I mean, those days of 50s, double-story buildings. And anything after that, then none of the shop houses are there. And those below south, which is south of the double-story buildings, are all new buildings. So that doesn't really remind me of the old Jalan Kayu.
The shop houses are still around? Are they still around?
Yeah, they're still around.
Mm. But none of
But these were
the.
built. These were built in the '60s, in early '60s,
Okay.
mid to late '60s.
Right. But none of the businesses are still around.
Oh, the businesses are in these new shops. There's a paint job. I think there's a shop selling puta, a couple of bakote restaurant. There's a Jerry restaurant, Western restaurant, paint shop, egg shop selling eggs now,
Do you mean
wholesalers.
they were around in the 60s and they are still around today?
No. Some
Hmm.
they're all new owners, new
New
proprietors.
owners. Right.
Yeah.
Uh, the businesses that moved out, did they continue their business elsewhere for some time?
Not I know of, because I only think some from the market stalls and all that, they moved to Seletar Hills. They demolished the market, they built a market in Seletar Hills. Some moved there, but when this market was demolished in Seletar Hills, they all moved out. So I can't collect anyone
Hmm.
took their business elsewhere.
Where did your Cantonese neighbor move to?
Well, the one I don't know job from there. The one was my immediate neighbor.
Hmm. It was quite hard to keep in touch with your
Yeah,
former
those days, yeah,
neighbors.
correct, yeah.